Alright, I got some good news and I got some bad news. Do you guys want the good news or the bad news first? Well, you don't get to decide because this is a YouTube video, but I'll be nice and I'll give you the good news first. Tattoos are coming to Skate, and they're gonna add more branded content to the Skate Pass. That's it for the good news, but the bad news is they're taking your ticks and they ain't giving them back. So I really don't like making negative slop content on this game, but I really do have to call things out when the devs are just making some really absurd and terrible decisions with the future of this game. And you probably know what I'm talking about right now, but if you haven't seen the latest dev update, basically the devs have came out and said that they are making a change to leftover ticks. Ticks is like the currency that you earn in the Skate Pass. Do challenges, unlock ticks, and then that's how you can unlock things in the Skate Pass. At the minute, if you have leftover ticks after a season ends, you get a percentage of those ticks in the next season. So in season 1, if you had leftover ticks, you got a percentage of them carried over to season 2. So you didn't start on 0. You got, you know, a little percentage of what you had left, which then you could spend in season 2. But for season 3, they're making a change, and any leftover ticks that you have at the end of this season, you can't carry them over to season 3. And instead, they're implementing what they call the auto exchange system, which essentially takes your leftover ticks and it exchanges them for you on items that you haven't unlocked in the battle pass or the Skate Pass. It's so hard not to call it a battle pass. Anyway, if you have any leftover ticks at the end of this season, which I suspect most people probably do, I'm gonna have 14,000 ticks left over. I never even got the premium Skate Pass this season. There was just nothing I really wanted, so I'm not gonna be spending those ticks. So basically, at the end of this season, those ticks are going to be auto exchanged for me to, I believe it starts on the last page you've unlocked. So I'm automatically going to receive these things that I don't want. That's why I haven't unlocked them. All things that I have chosen not to unlock with my ticks because I just don't want them. As you can see, I've already unlocked the stuff that I care about, the stuff that I want in the free pass. So it's going to just redeem all of those ticks for me, give me all of this stuff that I didn't ask for, and then I'm not going to have any ticks starting season 3. If this sounds like a bad decision to you, that's because it is. Pretty much everybody in the community agrees. You can imagine that the Discord right now is popping off. People are not happy. The feedback to this has not been good, and that's because this is just downright a bad decision. They should not be implementing this kind of thing, and I really hope that they see the feedback and they backtrack this to the way it was, because it's just very anti-player. It means that all of those unspent ticks are going to be wasted on stuff that people don't want. It's going to clog up their inventory with things that they didn't want in the first place. And then on top of that, people who have bought and finished the premium Skate Pass, or even the free Skate Pass, if you finished it and you have no more unlocks left, now all your leftover ticks that you've been earning to probably carry over into season 3, now you're basically going to have nothing. Those ticks are just going to be dissolved in the thin air, like Thanos snapped them away, and you'll never see them again, and you'll get nothing for it because you'll have nothing left for the game to auto redeem anyway. I don't see this benefiting a single person at all, and I don't really understand this decision, to be honest. And as much as I didn't want to do another video kind of complaining about Skate, because I already did a video complaining about how the event that's currently going is just pretty lackluster, something like this has to be brought up. It has to be spoke about because it's such a blatantly bad decision that affects everybody. Whether you buy the premium Skate Pass or you just take the free items, everybody is pretty much getting kind of shafted here over this decision, because they're taking away hard-earned ticks that you were saving up to redeem in season 3. All of that work is now for nothing because you're not going to have anything to show for it at the end of the season. Now, there's a pretty big chance that this decision was done at a kind of higher up level. Some execs at EA probably want to push this kind of mechanic on all their live service games. It essentially makes people probably more likely to actually purchase ticks with real money. So I kind of think this decision was probably made because it incentivizes buying ticks a little bit more. But yeah, this is just a really bad decision that has is not reflecting well on Full Circle, and it's already kind of tainting season 3 before it even gets released, which is not a good thing because a lot is riding on this season. There is really a lot of players that have dipped out of this game already. We need season 3 to kind of revitalize this game, and this is already putting a bad taste in people's mouths before the season's even out. So really, I mean, the reason that I want to talk... Damn. That was violent. Yeah, the reason that I want to talk about it in a video that I'm doing this video is because I really do care about this game, and I really do love this game. I mean, my channel kind of shows that, I think. I've been a long time defender of this game because I really do enjoy the skating, I enjoy the sound design, I enjoy the animations, I enjoy the multiplayer aspect. I love it. As a content creator, getting to kind of stream and play with all of you guys in a lobby is so cool. And I love that part of the game, and I genuinely kind of like the art style now that it's been improved on. So when I see some really blatantly bad decisions get put into this game, you know, it hurts, because it's like, I want this game to do well. I really do pray for this game to do better, and I want it to all work out in the end, but it's as if like the developers are fighting against that, and they're trying to kill this game with some of these decisions. That's what it feels like, you know. It feels like skating into a lamppost. When they dropped that announcement, it feels like you were just skating along and a lamppost came out of nowhere and smacked you in the face, because it really does suck. The game's already in pretty bad standing with the player base, so this is not a good developer update by any means. I really want to stop having to complain about this game, and I tend not to complain that often, but when things like this happen, you know, it's gotta be brought up. The developers have to be aware that this kind of stuff just should not fly. We shouldn't be letting this kind of stuff happen. Hopefully, because of how bad the reaction's been, and if you look in the Discord, as soon as this announcement was made, the reaction was instantly negative. Hopefully, there's going to be some sort of retraction of this, and they just go back to the way it was. If they're really looking out for the community and they really care, I think that's going to be the decision they should make. Cut their losses, realize, okay, this was a bad decision, to go back to the way it was. That's what they should do. Whether or not that's going to happen, I really don't know. It's not looking likely at the minute, but I guess we'll see if they come out with any sort of statement. But it's just unfortunate. It really is unfortunate, because I really do just want to see this game improve and get better, and they're just kind of focusing on the wrong things right now. Even though this decision has kind of tainted Season 3 a little bit, I know that there is still a lot to be revealed, and I am, for one, I'm still optimistic and hopeful that it's going to be a good season. I still feel like they can really pull a good season out of the bag, and I have faith that they will. And again, as a defender kind of this game, I think that we could potentially see a really solid season, and I hope that they do. Just features and everything separate from this terrible decision with the ticks, I hope that they pull out a really good season out of the bag. I pray for it. We are going to get more information on Season 3 probably on Tuesday when they release the weekly grind. We're also probably going to get more information throughout the month as we get closer to March 10th, which is the release of Season 3, which is obviously the like revised, delayed release date, because it got pushed back a week, unfortunately. But that was a nice three-piece. Yeah, full circle, if you're watching this, like any of the developers, please, you know, can we just take it back to the way it was and just give people a percentage of their ticks? And if people paid for ticks, they should definitely get the full percentage still at the end of the season. Just revert this decision, take it back to the way it was. That's the simple way to fix this issue right now. I will talk about the good news, which is definitely not as big of news, but we are getting tattoos in Season 3. The devs posted a little snippet at the tattoos. Now, of course, a lot of people realized, because it's very easy to notice, that there's a disclaimer at the bottom of the screen saying that certain cosmetics require separate in-game purchase, or whatever it says. And, you know, you'll notice that the clothes that the people are wearing are the default clothes, like the first things you unlock when you make a character. So none of the clothes they're wearing require in-game purchases. So that basically suggests that some of the tattoos that we're looking at in this little preview are going to be paid cosmetics in the store. That's not exactly a surprise. It's a free-to-play live service game. Any cosmetics they add are going to be a mix of earnable through either the skate pass or through gameplay. Potentially, we might see some tattoos in the Brick Switch boxes if they eventually give us that in Season 3. But of course, there's going to be some pretty cool designs locked behind a paywall. Now, a couple things that are worth pointing out with the tattoos. They are actually going to be placeable wherever you want. I imagine just on arms and legs. I don't think we're going to get topless tattoos, although Milky did point out in a comment under the post that they showed off topless tattoos previously. I don't know if we're still getting those or what. Right now, all we know is we can place them on legs and arms, but you can move the placement. You can also move the size of those tattoos. You can adjust the vibrancy of them as well. They better bring those exact same options to the stickers on the bottom of the board, because currently we can't do anything with stickers apart from just place them in the 3 default positions: the nose, the tail, and the middle of the board. We can't resize them, we can't move them ourselves. So if they're letting us do that with tattoos, then surely they should let us do it with stickers as well. It would just make the most sense, and it's stupid not letting us place them where we want. It seems like a simple thing that we don't have. So hopefully they bring that over to the board stickers as well, but I'm glad that we kind of have the freedom to place the tattoos wherever we want and resize them and stuff. Hopefully there is a good selection of tattoos in the game for free. But I say some of the better designs are going to be placed in the store. Another thing that's worth pointing out is they did actually state that they are created by talented artists. I don't know if that actually means they used real tattoo artists or if it's just like artists on the team. Hopefully that means there's no AI slop. This game is no stranger to AI slop, and we know this because some of the board designs are 100% AI. These are very clearly some AI designs. This one is funny because it's supposed to be like see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, but the top character is covering his mouth and the middle character is also covering his mouth, and then the last one is covering his eyes, so nobody's covering their ears, so they're all going to hear evil. Now these ones here I believe are done by actual artists because they look pretty good, but then you get things like this that are clearly AI. When they say that talented artists worked on the tattoos, that means that they actually did commission artists or hired artists to work on the designs, because you know, that's just something that's really important, is that we should have real artists working on all of the art in this game, especially paid cosmetics. They need to be designed by real people because paying for AI generated art is just very just a terrible business practice that should never happen, and unfortunately EA loves to do that at the minute. It's the same in Battlefield 6. That game is covered with AI slop art as well. Gun stickers and emblems that are in paid packs are very blatantly AI generated images. Tattoos are a nice addition. I hope that's not the only addition to customization. Of course, we need some new clothing items because at the minute we don't really have a lot. There's baggy t-shirts, there's shorter t-shirts, there's hoodies. You can't control whether or not you want to put your hood up or down. There's front caps, there's backwards caps. You can't change the placement of the caps. There's baggy trousers, there's slightly less baggy rolled up trousers, but there's only a couple skinny trousers. There's not like an option to have slimmer pants or anything like that, or slimmer kind of, you just can't really control anything in terms of if you want it slim or you want it baggy, and that should really be an option that we have. Yeah, so we definitely need more kind of actual unique meshes for the cosmetics. Some new clothing styles. Now, talking about clothes, they did also say that there is going to be branded cosmetics in the skip pass, which is something that people have been asking for a long time. Season 1 and Season 2 haven't had any branded cosmetics in the skip pass, all the branded stuff. Apart from some of the branded stuff that you can unlock in the boxes, the majority of branded stuff in this game is paid for in the shop, right? It costs real money to get. So they've said that Season 3 is going to bring some actual branded stuff into the skip pass, which means that the skip pass is hopefully going to actually be a little bit more valuable. Now, I fully believe that most, if not all, of the branded stuff in the skip pass is going to be in the premium pass, which means that it's going to cost money to get. So it's not exactly going to be free branded stuff, unless they add a couple tiers of, you know, a free t-shirt or something with a brand in the free pass. I don't know. I'm going to assume it's going to be part of the premium pass. You know, I'm not going to say that's a bad thing, because it is good to have branded stuff in the skip pass. That brings the skip pass much more value. But that's all they have kind of said in terms of actual content that's coming to Season 3. We really don't know anything else that's coming to the game. What else is coming? Like I said, hopefully we'll get more information on that on Tuesday. If not, it'll be later in the month. Looking at the roadmap, which we've had since Season 1, which again, hopefully we're going to get a new revised roadmap once Season 3 is out, and we're going to see Season 4, 5, 6, whatever. Looking at the roadmap, where it says Season 3 and beyond, which, bear in mind, the and beyond thing is definitely important to point out, because that kind of means that not all of this is going to be coming in Season 3, that some of these things are probably going to be after Season 3, Season 4, potentially in like a mid-season update. So yeah, we have things like leaderboards, open world collection, character slots, e.g. tattoos, which we've seen, player created parks, new game modes, and new gameplay tricks, dark slides, and improved foot plants. The ones that I think are pretty much guaranteed, of course, we have tattoos, that's confirmed. Dark slides and improved foot plants, I think, are probably going to be confirmed as well, since we got, in this season, we got impossibles and we got improved hand plants, so I definitely see them giving us dark slides and improved foot plants next season. I feel like every season they have to come with a new trick at least. I don't really know what the leaderboards are going to be for unless they actually add some competitive game modes into the game. So hopefully we're going to get a new competitive game mode. Player created parks is obviously a big one that a lot of people want. We still don't know for sure if we're going to get that, and I wouldn't be surprised if we don't. But my theory, again, I'm going to regurgitate the same thing I've said in my most recent videos, but Brick Switch is finally going to open. They're going to open up the stadium with Brick Switch, and I think that inside the stadium is going to be player created parks. I think that then the community parks are going to become kind of like a rotation of maybe like top voted player created parks or something like that. However, I don't know what that means about future events, because obviously currently the events are localized in the community parks. So if they do actually change community parks to player created parks, then I don't know what that means for event parks. So I could be wrong about that part, but I do think at least inside the stadium is likely going to be for player created parks, or it's going to be for like competition parks like SLS, which Skate do sponsor. It's a possibility, but it's out there. It's not exactly something I fully believe is going to be in the game just yet. And I want to talk about bringing back Tutorial Island, because that is something that we saw a tease for in the spring pop-off event trailer, which in hindsight that might have been more of a mistake than a tease, but I really don't know. In the trailer for the event, literally in the first shot, you can see what resembles Tutorial Island in the background, which means that it's closer and it's in shot, which is very much like, okay, they're teasing that Tutorial Island's coming back. We're going to be able to access it again. That's something that they said is going to happen eventually, that it is going to become accessible again. Rightfully so. Myself and a lot of other people thought, okay, they're teasing it and maybe they're going to move it closer when the event updates. That didn't happen, so we don't see it now, but I do think that in Season 3, they're going to bring Tutorial Island into frame. I don't know if that means they're actually going to bring Tutorial Island back in Season 3. I would say potentially no. If anything, it might come halfway through Season 3 as like a mid-season update. I think that would kind of make sense. That was really nice. But I think at least we are going to see Tutorial Island get closer, and we're going to be able to see it in frame as kind of like a tease that it's coming. To be honest, the hype is still there for Season 3 for me. I'm still excited. I'm still looking forward to Season 3, and I really am looking forward to getting more information, and I hope they manage to just pull this out of the bag and it's actually going to be good. But they really just need to make better decisions, and what they've done with the ticks change, that is a terrible decision that needs to be revised. And I really do hope that they go back on that, because it's not good. It's not a good look at all. They want to be doing the opposite of what they're doing right now. They want to be generating hype for the new season. They don't want to be putting people off the new season before it even starts. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of it. I've kind of came on and I've said my piece. I've shared my 2 cents on the whole situation, and that's all I really wanted to do. I hope that they listen to the feedback on this decision and they do the right thing and they revert it back, because people do not want this. So I'll be keeping up to date with all of the Season 3 news that we get. I will let you guys know once we get new information, probably on Tuesday, and then any other information that gets released throughout the week. I'll keep you guys updated. And on that note, that is it for today's video. I just needed to say something about this whole thing. So thank you very much for watching, as always, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.